Hello and welcome to another very different style of video. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a world tour of my old survival world. A little bit of background on this world. It initially started off as a series on YouTube. Unfortunately the videos are no longer available because for some reason I decided to take them down. Um, but yeah, it basically spanned from the beginning of 1.13 right away through till 1.14 was launched. I did quite a lot of work in this world, as I'm sure you can see from here. Where we are at the moment is stood on top of a castle build that I did. Really proud of how this turned out. In fact, I really love this world. I'll put a link to the seed for this world, so it won't be a link. I'll put the seed for this world in the description section. Basically, I found a seed using Mine Atlas, found one that had a really large island on it, and just sort of went from there. This entire world looked completely different before I started changing all of this up. I mean, for one, here was a giant savanna hill, so most of this island is actually a savanna. Yeah, so let's just jump straight into it, and I'm just going to do a flyby of the city because a lot of it does look the same. I use a lot of the same style houses just to get it built up a little bit quicker. I'll go into a bit of detail over some of the bigger builds and stuff like that. But yeah, I love the layout of this town. So there's like sections like this where you can walk underneath there, or you can come up and go over the top. We've got a little warehouse here, so that boats coming along the river, things can be picked up and dropped off in there. But it's really cool little crane design that I came up with over here, which I think looks really cool. There's something about playing in survival, it makes you think a little bit differently about how you're building things. In creative, I mean, I could have knocked this up really quickly, but like playing it in survival and planning it out in survival gives you a completely different outlook on what you're doing. Um, yeah, so this side of the island was intended to be, or city I should say, was intended to be a bit of a more industrial side. So we've got like a blacksmith here selling his blacksmith's wares. He's got 3 furnaces for whatever reason. I'm sure he needs them. We've got a giant custom boat over there. I actually found a really useful video for creating boat designs. If you go on Google, you can get quite a lot of different bloat. If you go on YouTube, you can get quite a lot of boat blueprints, and using that, if you take it into some form of painting tool, you can then sort of draw it in and break it down and get the general shape of it, and then you just come in, build ribs in for the boat. It's a really cool technique actually, and I might do a video sort of showcasing the technique. I'll definitely put a link to the video that I got the idea from in the description. So yeah, there's not too much to see of the rest of that boat. It is what it is. It is just a boat. We've got this really cool tower over here. I had a really good time lapse when I did it of building this up, and I was really happy with the way that that one looked. Obviously, this was before we had replay mod back again. 1.13 had quite a lot of troubles, and we couldn't use things like replay mod or world edit within it. I'm sure some people found a way, but I was really heavily into playing survival back in that version of the game. So there are 3 bridges that run along this city. Got one angled, and yeah, just a few different designs. Funnily enough, these are actually end rods. This new resource pack that I'm using changes them into large lanterns, which I think looks pretty cool. This always weirded me out. I think it was just a bit of a chunk error. I come through and tried to fix a few bits, but essentially that was a well, which I'm sure you can tell. So again, talking about the connectivity of this city, like there's just little routes that you can go through here, and these are note blocks, so they have like a crate texture, which is really cool. But yeah, you can just come through. There's loads of different ways to just get around the city. Um, got a little gatehouse here. Again, just really happy with the way it all looks. Here we've got I think this was a building with sausage design that I sort of altered about a little bit. You can see that once 1.14 was added in, I did come through and start adding a few bits in, but I've not really played this in 1.14. But yeah, this is essentially like a little tavern. I thought was pretty cool. So many unfinished projects in this world. But at any rate, what I'm going to do is come round here. Yeah, we have a little cart. We like carts. I'm not sure why there's an armor stand at the front of it. I thought I'd attached horses, but apparently not. Got some end crystals that I built up. But yeah, the castle, I'm so happy with the way this turned out. At the time, I was very heavily inspired by a YouTuber called Fwip. I just found his channel when I started making my own videos, and yeah, he was a really big inspiration. And you know, it was one of those things where I kind of realized, oh, survival Minecraft doesn't just have to be small projects. We can delve into the bigger things. Obviously, a lot of this is helped out by large scale farms that I've built up. Obviously, watching the Hermitcraft series gets you into big farms like that. But yeah, so here we go. This is our main entrance. We've got the banners. I just like marked up a really quick banner. I thought that looked a little bit like a sword. Not thinking so much anymore, but you know, it's good to add banners. It sort of connects the world together a little bit. Sun is going down, which creates quite a cool effect here actually. But again, yeah, all of this is about interconnectivity. So this was supposed to be a blacksmith's area here. I was going to put like a little forge round back, and we're getting attacked. What is this bow? Well, it's not even a great bow. It's been quite a while since I've played on this world, to be totally honest. Yeah, so this is like a little feast hall. Everything sort of connects together. As I say, we've got little stables in here. When the iron farms broke, I moved all of my villagers into a little building up there, with intentions of fixing it, but I just never did. Yeah, we've got the main keep here. Again, it's an unfinished project, as I say, everything is. We've got a little built-in prison system here. We've got some gratings there, which I think, again, it just looks pretty cool. It just adds another layer. So there's loads of texture variation that I needed to add in that I never quite got round to. But yeah, just to go back to it, one of the things I really love about this build is how connected it is. So I can come through here, and there used to be... No, did I just never make the way up? So there was supposed to be a staircase here. I'm just going to attempt to fly up here. Oh. There we go. Let's not die. Yeah, that took us all the way up to the tower. So there's supposed to be a staircase there. You can come out onto all the sort of edges, and yeah, there's just loads of different ways to sort of traverse around this castle. There was going to be like bedrooms in here and all of that sort of good stuff. Come up here along the outside, that'll bring us to where all those villager noises are coming from, and we can cross over this bridge here. Should give us another pretty cool little view. So that's the little courtyard that we was in just a minute ago, and this tower section here was going to be a sort of barracks area, so basically I just filled it up with loads of beds. It's great because it means we can sleep right now. Yep, and again you can come round and up here. This area was going to be a sort of housing area for the chefs of the castle, all the cooks and all of the sort of like waiters and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, as I say, it just all links all the way around. Oh yeah, I was in the process of... These are trapdoors. Yeah, I was going to transfer it all over into unlit campfires just because I really like the little effect that you get here. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, this brings us into the gatehouse. Never really did any real work here. And if we really want to... Is there a way up? Did I actually make a way up? No, another unfinished section. Yeah, there's a lot of villages in there, but yeah, you can Eventually I was going to build a walkway to bring us up here, which brings us just to the front. So it's not like the most realistic castle, it's not the most defendable thing in the world, but was really pleased with the way it sort of came out. So without spending too much time here, although I could talk about this for ages, I have quite a lot of really happy memories of building a lot of this stuff up. I was having a lot of fun at the time. I think I only even made it to like 13 subscribers at the time, but I think this is the thing. As long as you're doing it for yourself and you're having fun yourself, that's sort of what YouTube is about for me anyway. I really love the creative series I'm doing at the moment. And I love making the time lapses and I love making all the music. This world though, I spent so many hours in here just building things up. So this is a sort of little farming area. This was my starting house actually. Obviously it didn't look like this when I very first started, but it started off as like a little small thing and then I upgraded it. There's nothing really on the inside anymore. Everything got torn out of here. I mean, when I say everything, I mean everything got torn out of here. There's a few chests about still, and some broken maps. That was an annoying thing actually. So for a very short time, it never actually got played on. I intended to put this as a server so me and a few friends could play on it, but never wound up happening. But it broke all of my maps. I had a really great map room going on that kind of got ruined. So yeah, we got these just to light the area. I didn't want to do a load of torch spam. We have a few torches around, but I've kind of strategically placed them. I will go down here in a minute. This is basically the backbone of this world. Everything that I use is sort of stored down there, and most of the farms I use are all down there as well. Got a little windmill design. I don't like this as much as I did when I first built it, but I think that's just because my style of building has changed quite a bit since this one was made. Anyway, yeah, we can come through here, and I love the way this area feels. Like you can just walk through the woods, and you come out into this little area where there's a few little houses. We've got a bit over here. You can sort of hear the minecart in the background now. I'm not sure how well that came through for you guys. Little lake area here, and a tower, which again, I don't really like this design anymore. Really loved it when I built it, but I definitely much prefer the ones I build now. So yeah, this is like a little blacksmith's, and I set it up so that with this hopper here, I basically plant my shulker box on it, tucks all the items down, and under the ground there is a super smelter down there. All of the items get funneled up into here and it gets cooked up. You can see I get a bit lazy and just dump random things in here sometimes, and this would be the chest for refueling. So that's all good. Yeah, I then sort of decided I wanted to add some more housing into this area just to make it look a bit better. There's loads and loads of plants. I remember going around collecting all the plants actually. I spent ages just gathering plants together. Can't find it's like a little stable there. Come over here. Another bridge I updated with the 114 drop. Yeah, it's kind of cool. This texture pack ruins the fog effect. To be honest, I don't really know why I did it here, but I'd seen it about a few times and just kind of decided I wanted to do it. So this is a witch's hut. This is I believe it was a Pixel Riffs design actually. You'll notice a theme with this world. I was building a fair few other people's designs, which I think is part of the reason I fell out with this world, because it wasn't 100% me. Most of it, I will say most of it was me. There's just a few builds about the place where I'd seen videos online and was like, oh, that's really cool. I'd love to have that in my world. So obviously I credited everyone where it was due. But yeah, I was going to turn this into like a automatic brewing station, so I'd like cleared out a load of space under there and had intended to do that, but I kind of realised I just never use potions in this game. Yeah, it's just one of those things I never really have. So I built a witch's cave instead and just dumped a bunch of brewing stands about the place. Again, this area I think looks really cool. The animals must think so too because they've all moved in. So yeah, there's just fire underneath the cauldrons. Just wanted to give it that sort of witchy feel. So let's come out of here. I'm just going to go back into flight mode. Yeah, you can see it's quite a large area. This was like a little animal farm over here. Got a little chicken coop where they do lay eggs and they come out into this very full chest. You know what? This might explain some of the lag I was experiencing in this world. Are these all full? Yeah. Yeah, looks like they are. Okay, well, that's cool. Yeah, big old horses stables here. And then just some like mixed animal pens there. Yeah, pretty cool little designs I thought. Let's actually take off if we can, please. And this area, I was really happy with this actually. So I was building up a little like hobbit area here. You'll notice everything's really squished together on this island, but it was like an idea of, oh, everyone lives in harmony, and I just have random ideas and decide that I want to do it. So I tried my hand at building some hobbit houses as like a first attempt there. Another failed attempt there. I decided to keep them in just because it sort of adds to the area, gives us a bit more to look at. But this was the one where I think I really got it. So we got the circular windows and that circular door-ish as best we can. Yeah, and added a full interior. We got like a kitchen area over here where something's obviously stepped on that pressure plate, being used as like a chopping board or something like that. This was a map room where again all of the maps have just gone a bit weird. They all sort of clone themselves into this one map, which is just the tiniest corner. Really annoying. Yeah, chucked all of the barrels in when 114 dropped, and yeah, we got like a little pantry area. So obviously very heavily inspired, completely inspired by Lord of the Rings. A little pantry with yeah, just a little bit of they're supposed to act out as herbs, and I think it does look pretty good like this. Got like a little living area with a fireplace over there. There's a zombie about, a couple of bedrooms, another bedroom there. Don't really need to delve in. A little dining area over here that's got another little sort of pantry area that never got used or never got filled up. Yeah, I think this has got a really cool feel to it, this area, especially with this like large tree put in as well. Got a little chimney poking out. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool just walking around and looking at it actually. You think about like how much work you've put in. You've got some like custom trees are built up. This texture pack adds some slightly different leaf textures. So all of this was originally fairly similar colours. Yeah, my intention was to do this entire side of the river like this going all the way along. But never wound up happening because I just sort of stopped playing on the world. I kind of stopped playing Minecraft altogether at one point, only for a few months. I get a little bit too addicted to this game sometimes and wind up taking a bit of a break. But yeah, so now I'm gonna, seeing as it's turning to night time again, I might as well. Now I'm gonna go into the sort of backbone of this world, which is down here, and I'll probably take the shaders off. So give me a second, I'll just get those shaders popped off. Cool. So coming down here, this is where everything sort of happens. I'll start here. This was my original. Don't know how loud that's going to be. Yeah, this was my original storage. Oh wow, cool. I'm still discovering things about this texture pack. So I'm guessing this is a slightly broken anvil. That's really cool. The texture pack is called A Little Taste of Germs. I put a link to Germsy Boy's channel in every video I upload using this. just because credit where credit's due. Yeah, but this was my original storage solution. Of like little item elevator there, and sorts everything out here using very clever redstone that I did not come up with myself. I think it's very tried and tested at the moment. No, like it's basically the solution everyone pretty much uses. Yeah, just got everything you could possibly need there. And then this was just random dump storage. Although the ores would get dumped into here. Quick ore deposit. Got this little system here which I absolutely love. Little minecart. I love minecarts. I think they're underused in Minecraft. Just brings us down into the original mine. You can hear the slime farm in the background. I believe it's like right on the other side here. You can hear the ticking of the dropper going. Yeah, so basically the idea was I come along, choose a mine entrance, strip my way along it, come back, and here I could just drop any item that I had, say the andesite, drop that in there, it would come along, and eventually it would work its way back up into that storage selection, and any of the ores that I got I'd dump in here and they'd wind up in the ore box. This minecart system's also pretty cool. Show you it. So it's parked up down here at the moment. Let's try not to kill ourselves. That was pretty graceful actually. So I hooked it up so that whichever side I'm on, if I push the button and I want the minecart to come, it will make its way up here. Right the way up to the point that I'd built this, I still didn't have an elytra, so that literally was the quickest way up and down. It probably still is. It's kind of nice to just be able to jump into the minecart and just travel. Yeah, I really liked the idea of being able to get behind all of my sort of construction and that. So eventually, once I'd collected a god-awful amount of shulker boxes, I built this, which is an ill mango design, and oh yeah, connected textures make it look a bit weird. So basically, corresponding block, it fills it up to the brim with cobblestone. Like the shulker box gets filled up with whatever that is, and it'll just spit it out. So you can see I was working through sorting some stuff out. Did I make this an opening? I don't think I actually ever put a door in, but we could come around and have a quick look at the sheer scale of the redstone here. It's a really interesting texture for hoppers here actually. It's kind of weird. I've not played around with a lot of this stuff because I don't really use hoppers in creative builds. I probably should. Especially now that I know they've got a texture like this, there's probably quite a bit I can do with them, but yeah, it's just mass amounts of redstone that I don't fully understand, but watching a tutorial you can get it put together and get it built up. And these chests here are kind of just overflow, so anything that doesn't fit into this system just goes in there. So essentially, take shulker box, drop on here, pull lever, and that'll start sending the items up. And once the shulker box is empty, you just recycle it back into the system so it can keep spitting them out for you. Probably a bad example because they're going to be empty. But towards the end here, we should see, yeah, shulker boxes. It's just a good way that I could check just to make sure I still had enough shulker boxes feeding into the system. This really is a ridiculous amount of shulker boxes. But I was at the time using a data pack from Exhuma's vanilla tweaks that basically every shulker you kill you get 2 shulker boxes for. And I remember spending absolutely ages in the end just hunting shulker boxes. So coming down this way, I have got my first... Oh, actually, let's go in here real quick. This was my map room. This was the size of my map and completely ruined. It's really disappointing, actually. It would have been pretty cool to show you guys what it actually looked like. See the scale of my world and how big the island was and how much of it I'd covered. Because although it may not look like too much, it is a really large amount. So this was my first XP area. I found a little skeleton farm is directly underneath this block, and you can see the lights flashing on there. So when those lights flash on, it means there's a skeleton moving through the system. So we should see some start to drop down here in a minute. I thought it was a neat little touch because it lets you know that the system's definitely working. And if those lights don't start coming up, then you wouldn't really know. The tube actually leads up to the surface area, and originally I had it opened out and you could see skeletons coming through. I mean, I couldn't because I'd be stuck down here, but I don't know, I thought it was a nice touch, a little enchanting area. And we got the lights, tells us what time of day it is, so when these lights are on it's night time, and when they're off it's daytime. All of the other lights sort of just stay on. And again, sticking in theme, you can come down here and have a look at the redstone if you need to. And I thought I was going to break that then. Yeah, so if you've got any problems with your redstone, you could come through and have a look and suss out what the issue was. No, you can go back that way. Let them go past and come back up. I did this with most of my little redstone bits in this world to make it so you could go and have a look. Yeah, we come down the stairs. I believe this area here, it all looks very, very samey. I know that. I really liked the repeating pattern at the time, but this is just bulk storage for the slime farm, which doesn't really get used all too much. It doesn't. Like, if I was doing a redstone project, then it would get used quite a lot. Yeah, so this was, oh yeah, this glass is no good for this. Well, I'm not going to take it off. Basically, we've got a sugarcane farm there. Underneath here, we've got a... Well, in fact, it'd be easier if I just went through the chest. So yeah, we've got sugarcane. We've got kelp that's under here. We've got a cactus farm. Cactus farm is underneath here, and behind this one, and it actually goes down quite a long way. Have I got the silk touch one? Yes, I do. Yeah, you can see it goes all the way down, and it's the same on the sugarcane one over there, and all of these farms, they go far down as they possibly can, which winds up being a fairly efficient system. Get quite a lot of drops out of it. I think things like the kelp, sometimes the kelp can be really efficient, but yeah, sugarcane is definitely the most efficient farm. See where I just dip in and take it. Sugarcane gets used quite a lot just for firework rockets in this world. This was the starting of a trading hall, where I got all of my sort of unbreaking books and all of that sort of stuff from. Gonna make it 2 layers, and there was a villager powered, a few villager powered farms there. There was carrot farm, potato farm, and wheat. So they're just sort of hidden underneath all of that. Down here I found a zombie spawner. I didn't really do much with it. I didn't want to destroy it. I mean, you could get drops out of there, but I don't think I've ever actually used this. I literally just set it up and that was it. Nowhere for any of the drops to go or anything. It's just another place to get experience from. So coming on back, we've got some more stairs we can go down. It all looks so samey, even I get a little bit lost going around. Yeah, so we come down here. I don't know what my plan was with these 2 rooms. I just remember opening them up. So this area here is a creeper farm, and I'm actually gonna, not video settings, resource pack. Let's take that one off, and this should show it a little bit better. Probably gonna put that texture pack back on. Yeah, so on either side there is, my skeleton's gone. Oh well. Yeah, on either side of this, 32 blocks away from where I'm standing, you just saw a creeper going up. That's what I liked about this design. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, so on either side there's 2 creeper farms, and it just funnels them in, sends them up these tubes. One of them goes over here, and the idea was if I pulled this back, there'd be a skeleton sat in there, and he'd want to shoot at the iron golem, and in doing so he would generate me untold amounts of music discs. I've got quite a lot, just from AFKing in the area. I'll just turn it on. Yeah, and as you see on this side, they just die on the magma block, and I just get your gunpowder from it, which I use a lot of gunpowder for the rockets. Actually quite an efficient farm. I do remember spending a long time lighting the area up around this build, just because I wanted everything to be as efficient as it could be. So we've got that. Now I'm gonna go actually into the Nether for what was a really large project. I want to put the resource pack back on because I like using it. Where is it? A little taste of germs. Move it down one. I do have different nether brick textures just because it's a little bit brighter, the nether brick textures that I preferred basically. So let's jump through here into a nether that doesn't really look like a nether. I wanted to convert my nether into this cave, and I'm really glad I did. I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, I could have just done this in the overworld and built up a cool cave like this. Again, we've got the fog effect down there, not really working out too well with this texture pack. Yeah, we can fly up here real quick before I delve too much into it. I'm not going to go all the way up there, but even just from here you can see we have the gold farm built up. This became my mainstay for experience. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that. So yeah, we've got the bridges going along. I really love this build actually. I think it looks pretty good. I sort of showcased it a little bit in my Nether Portal Designs build. So I made like a smaller one where we had the Nether Portals just sort of hidden into the walls, which is exactly what's going on here. So you got one there, there's one there. That one just brings us back out in the city rather than under in the sort of storage area, we'll call it. And there's one inside that mass of rocks there, and there's another one over there that takes us to a guardian farm, which I will touch on the guardian farm. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. And now I'm going to come down here because this just extends. So something I never actually showed on video. I was working on a really huge project behind the scenes. I was really pouring all of the hours into this world. Yeah, never finished this section off. This area here was my 1.13 mega storage system of whatever. It's just insane the amount of storage you get here. So all of this really simple design. You just dump all the shulker boxes on. You could do it on either side, or you can put individual items out of your inventory into here. And let's say just those 2 oak planks, we'll put them in and they'll travel along. Yeah, shulker boxes goes on, let them empty out completely. You pull this lever and that'll just break all your shulker boxes off for you, so it's quick to collect. You could send the shulker boxes back into another shulker box storage selection, like an empty shulker box storage. Can't really remember how that's laid out, to be totally honest. But yeah, so this was for every item, every stackable item in 1.13. And it goes on. It is huge. Just row after row of just unnecessary storage systems. Come back down here real quick. We've got this Octo sorter. Oh, that's really cool. Totem of Undying looks like Groot. But yeah, this one's broken. But basically, the item frame relates to what's going to be in the shulker box. You have to take your time with this. You can't just spam that button. Yeah, I'll just build it up with random stuff that I just don't need, and there's just random storage everywhere. There's some empty shulker boxes in there. That's cool. yeah, it just goes on and on. And this is a floating crafting table. We'll take that. This is for the mega smelter I have here, and it really is a mega smelter. Fuel in, items in, and this is what comes out of it. It is ridiculously fast and ridiculously large. This was just like a little elevator thing I found, but I never really finished or did anything down there, so there's not really any point in going down there. Let's just come and take a look at the smelter. So everything along there, I have no idea how many quite how many furnaces I used, but it's a lot. It's way more than I was ever going to need. Obviously this was back when iron farms just delivered obscene amounts of iron. Here I was going to build another potion brewing station, but again, it's just potions are something that I just don't use, so there was never really any point in finishing the project. I sort of started it and that was it. Up these stairs we can go into obviously all of the item filters and everything, so if we needed to change anything or we needed to fix anything, we could do that. I don't think I would ever do a project like this again. So trying to run this along in the background without giving too much away of what I was doing for it was supposed to be for like one big unveiling for storage, but yeah, most of this just hasn't even got used. I mean, yep, the extra 2 oak planks we put in made their way into the system. Oh, even all of these lights as well. As the items are going along, just in case something got stuck, I put the lights up there so they're comparators coming off of the hoppers, and if the item's in it then the light comes on. Of course this creates insane amounts of lag as the items are moving through the system. You think you've dumped how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 shulker boxes, so 28 shulker boxes full to the brim with items all passing through the system. All of the lights flickering on and off as it goes up and down, around, up and down, around. Yeah, it's I thought it was a good idea at the time, but you know, in hindsight, probably not so good. So coming back down here now, these tunnels expand, so we can take the pathway off in another direction, and we can come down here. And now this leads into an area that I really like, and you'll see inspiration coming from this area in a video that's coming out soon. So yeah, just hours upon hours of placing stone and never really finishing the job. Again, little wooden walkway there, or you can just follow this path down here, or do what I do every time and just fly straight through into an even bigger area. I really got very carried away making this. We got the bridge, the signs. It's quoting Lord of the Rings just because this bridge felt very Lord of the Rings. Had to be done. You'd think this is where it ends, but you'd be wrong, because I went another step further, and this was going to be my dwarven build. Obviously this area is very heavily inspired by the Mines of Moria from Lord of the Rings. It's basically a carbon copy. Essentially, I got to this point where I built this bridge and I was like, oh, that's cool. That was a good idea. So I built this, and yeah, I really loved the fog effect at the time, and I'm really happy with it. We got the chains in there for lifting up the big heavy wooden door, and all of this over the top detail in the walls and everything. And yeah, the pillars, you know, you can just see the Mines of Moria. And then you got the little throne up here, which I thought was a nice little touch. And you know, I'd intended to expand it. You know, these doors were going to lead to an actual dwarven city rather than just this gigantic hall. How is my Elytra doing? Okay, he's not faring too well. Yeah, this project took me forever. Absolutely forever. Totally worth it though. And as I say, it's inspired me even now. So, let's carry back this way. What else do I have to show you? I suppose we could go to the farm. Yeah, the I forget what they're called. You'll see when we get there. There's a massive ice road path there as well that leads for thousands of blocks away, because I was going to go and do a Japanese build somewhere. Never did. Never did it. Yeah, so this portal should take us through. Hello. You can stay in there. These guys, I still can't get their name. Yeah, I use the shards quite a lot. Guardians. They're called Guardians. But again, we can go down through to the redstone where the chest has stopped. Fine, because I don't think it's got anything to collect anyway. I thought chests couldn't pass through you like that. This here as well. I know it's raining, it's lovely, and it's night time. I'm probably going to get attacked by phantoms, especially if I look up. So this is the Tango Tech iron farm, which again, it just doesn't work anymore. Completely broken, which is unfortunate, because I spent a ridiculously long time building this, because I built it all up, and then it just didn't work, and I then had to go through and figure out what it was that I'd done wrong. And again, that's something that I spent far too long doing. So if I just fly back this way, it's not going to take long. We'll be back at the main city. I'm just going to sleep to get rid of the rain, and then I've got one more thing to show you guys, which is actually underwater. Because of course this came out, this world was built up in 1.13. There's finally a reason to build underwater, and it was something that I really wanted to do, so let's just sleep real quick. And yeah, let's come through this way. So over here you can see the beacons poking out. This was another sort of dwarven build that I was working on. It's just a flooding? Good wording. Yeah, it's just a flooded dwarven city that I never finished. I got a ridiculous amount of my resources from here. Really handy. What wasn't handy was coming through and replacing water, or placing water. So yeah, this just goes down and goes on and on and on. It's just black concrete on the bottom. It's because I wanted to give it a bit of a base. Yeah, again, I was going to build an entire city under here and just have the whole thing flooded. Supposed to be like little barnacles on their heads. So I've not even seen any hostile mobs with this texture pack actually. Yeah, love the design on this though. It was coming together really well. Just another project. I think what I did with this world was, what I did wrong was I bit off way more than I could chew, and was trying to make far bigger things than I realistically had the time to. Should have just sort of stopped and focused on one area, and then moved on to another. But I didn't. I just let myself get carried away with it. So, shall we probably end off here? There's not really much more to show you. I could dump the shaders back on and, get a nice little flyby. Actually, I might do that. Shaders back on. When it eventually loads. Yeah, I really love the way this looks. So this was the whole point of this build. It was supposed to just be in the background, just something you'd be flying over and you go, oh, What's that? Yeah, a little custom mountain that I built up as well. This was completely done by hand and took way more time than I care to mention to get right. So yeah, there's not really much more for me to say about this world. It's going through a bit of a nostalgia trip, and I've really enjoyed doing it, to be honest. Nice to come back and have a look at it. So if you guys are interested, I would consider starting another survival world. I don't think at this point I'd continue in this one. I think it's had its day, and I'm doing a lot of medieval sort of stuff in the creative world that I'm working on anyway, so I don't really want to come back in and do more medieval content, just because it would saturate the channel a little bit. Completely forgot I spent ages placing coral blocks and everything in this little river area. Yeah, so much time. So much time. Yeah, I'd definitely consider doing another survival series though, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this little tour, and if you've stuck around for the whole thing, because just looking over now, coming up towards the 50-minute mark, if you stuck around for the whole thing, I really appreciate it, and thank you very much for finding it interesting to come and have a little look at this world I built up. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'm going to catch you in the next video.